Welcome to the behind the scenes for our homemade Lord of the Rings trailer. I'm going to walk you through the process and show you how we did everything, so let's go. There are a ton of costumes in this trailer. In fact, 9 of them appear in one single shot at the end, which is the most we've ever had on camera at once. I'll get to that later, but first we had to make all of these. So really it's a big shopping run. You just get all the pieces and then you come back to the house and you lay it all out and just figure out this jacket will be used for this and that coat will be used for that. We found a vest that we could turn inside out and use the inside. We enlisted the help of my friend Hari and her boyfriend Martin, and we just had a costume day. It was a lot of gluing, snipping, cutting. We even used a sewing machine this time. Ooh, fancy. Cardboard accessories, whatever you need to make them work.
I'm making a fake kind of leather weaving, just leather details and embellishments using electrical tape, which looks kind of leathery on camera.
The hobbits were pretty easy because they could just kind of wear a coat, a white shirt underneath, maybe a vest. We just bought some sheets or some extra fabric and just draped it on as a cloak. One of my favorite costumes was Gimli's because he had a bunch of cool like armor and he had a cool helmet made out of a costume helmet and just cut it up and glued it together in a new way and put some duct tape lines on. He had an axe too. There was a piece of PVC pipe with some spray paint and some cardboard. Gandalf's outfit was just like a long trench coat, and then we got another sort of sheet just to drape over it and make it look like it has the big sleeves and stuff. Martin and Hari actually made that great little hat. They just quickly sewed the shape and then we just stuffed it with some leftover shopping bags. Gandalf needs his staff, of course.
So today was trash day, but they totally left a palm frond in front of Dustin's house.
So we just cut it and ta-da, staff. Boromir had a pretty rad outfit. Started with a woman's dress, of course. We actually used some of the extra fabric at the bottom, and Martin sewed longer sleeves for it, so that became the base, and then we just layered on top of that. And then he had some little chainmail patches, which we used just little dabs of hot glue to kind of give it that texture. And then he had a little bit of fur with some cool cardboard buckles that we made that was left over from Helen Mirren's fur in our Red 2 trailer. And then he had a cool shield, which is just a trash can lid that we taped a belt to, and he just hung onto it. So to shoot this big shot, we just had to gather everybody together, get them in their costumes, and this was the most people we've had on camera at one time, actually. Since we did this in front of my house, we just built the little stone structures made out of cardboard with some brown paper bags ripped up and spray painted on there. So we've got those nice textures, the basic shapes, and then we just walk through. We also need to simulate that we're kind of walking over a hill, so everyone just kind of crouched down, and then when it was your turn to walk through the threshold, you sort of stepped up and then down, and it kind of gave everybody that look like they're walking over the hill. The timing was really important on this shot, and since I'm in the shot and Jon's in the shot and pretty much everyone we know is in the shot, we brought on a friend, Justin Johns, to actually shoot it for us.
And action.
And since it's such a long shot, we ended up attaching the iPhone to my little square camera rig so that he could watch the shot while he was shooting it. Orlando Bloom's character, Legolas, is kind of feminine, so we had Hari play that role for the shot. She just put the wig on, and she had similar features, so there you go. There's supposed to be a horse in this shot too, so we actually got a stuffed horse and had our editor Sean just carry Bill the pony on his shoulder.
I'm Sam with the horse.
Sam with the horse, Bill the pony. So I love that when it comes around the corner and you just see a stuffed horse. But you know, it matches up. The timing is right and it's a horse. Come on. What you might not notice is that Jon is playing Gandalf in the beginning of the shot, and then as soon as he gets off camera, he quickly changes costumes, rips his wig off, runs around the yard, and gets it back in the back of the line, and then comes through as the last person. So it took a while to get the timing on that right. The first few run-throughs that we did, Jon didn't quite make it around in time. The first one was the funniest one. The wig was on backwards, and he just comes charging through. One of the times, I think he still had the Gandalf nose on and didn't realize it. It was pretty hectic, and we finally had my wife Priscilla just help him with a quick change, taking the things off and on, and so that he had enough time to get around. You know, we could have probably just had one other person show up, but on paper, it seemed like no big deal. Like, oh, you'll be the first guy, and you'll be the last guy. It'll be super easy. It turned out to be a big challenge. It wouldn't be Lord of the Rings without the ring, so I had to make one. I made the ring out of a little piece of cardboard. It was kind of like a little cardboard spool, so I just cut it to the right size and then spray painted it gold. And then there's a lot of shots of it spinning through the air, so we just set up a black sheet and lit it properly and put it on a little tiny wire. And rather than trying to rotate it and spin it and move it around towards the camera, we just spun it and then let the camera do the work. then the hand comes in at the right moment and grabs it. And then there's a close-up of the inside of the ring, the very opening of the trailer. So we made a larger version of it, piece of cardboard with gold paint, and did the writing on the inside, and then hit the fire right past it. There's a handful of miniatures in this one too, so we've got like little G.I. Joes and little miniature horses. We've got like a snowy hill that we just put a white sheet down and piled up some white sheet in the background for the mountains. For one of the shots, instead of doing tons of action figures, I just ended up drawing the different layers on some cardboard. So you can kind of just move the cardboard planes at different speeds. So cardboard and Sharpie always is the answer. For one shot, kind of a close-up on the Black Riders, we used our little toy horses and we put some little black fabric on there. For Gandalf flying backwards in that one shot, we just shot it in reverse. So we had Jon up on a stool and he jumped into the shot, and then you just play it backwards. Break your ankle?
No, all good.
Okay. When Aragorn throws his torch, we just actually put a bright orange lid from spray paint.
A sweet torch.
And then we just cut to a close-up of some fire that we did in slow motion, so it sort of cuts together in a cool way. When Mary kneels down in that one shot, we did a forced perspective with the candle where it's supposed to be like a big cauldron with fire, so we just put the candle up really close to the camera and lit it. Remember when every single trailer had the same music? It's that epic, blasting chorus of voices. It was in every trailer for like 10 years, it seems like. Trailers don't have narration much these days either, kind of just not a thing that happens, but this trailer's old enough, so I got to do my little trailer voice narration for it.
One ring to rule them all.
So that's our homemade Lord of the Rings trailer. Let us know in the comments what scenes we should try and what trailers you want us to do, and it could be older, 10, 20 years, maybe more. Be sure to subscribe. We do this every Tuesday, and thanks for watching.